대사인 김현재. 글로벌 세미나는 중앙대학교와 MOU를 맺어 교환학생 프로그램을 제공하는 상대학교의 외국 학생 또는 관계자분들이 직접 정보나 이야기를 들려주는 프로그램입니다. 오늘 글로벌 세미나를 통해 교환 생활에 대한 각자의 궁금증을 해소하는 값진 시간이 되길 바라겠습니다. 본 세미나는 외국 학교 학생 또는 관계자의 나라 및 학교 소개, 그리고 일부 세션은 같은 학교 입학 현장인 한국인 재학생의 경험담 공유가 이어서 진행되며 끝으로 Q&A가 예정되어 있습니다. 더불어 글로벌 세미나에 참여해주신 여러분들을 위한 이벤트도 준비되어 있습니다. 세미나를 듣고 계신 본인 모습을 사진으로 남겨 인스타그램 스토리에 저희 글램 계정을 태그 후 업로드해주시거나 혹시 인스타그램 계정이 없으신 분들은 사진을 보관 후에 글로벌 커뮤니티 센터에 방문하셔서 저희 글램에게 보여주신다면 소정의 상품을 드리는 이벤트를 진행하고 있사오니 잊지 말고 참여해주시면 감사하겠습니다. 그럼 첫 번째 학교부터 소개하도록 하겠습니다. 위스콘신 대학 스타우트를 소개해줄 제레마이아입니다.
Let's get started with the University from North America. Here is Jeremiah, who will introduce you the University of Wisconsin Scouts.
All right, hello everyone. I'm excited to tell you about my home university, the University of Wisconsin Stout. My name is Jeremiah Hubbard, and I'm a second year in mechanical engineering. So for starters, I'm aware many of you may not know where Wisconsin is, not like California or New York. So just real quick, it's the one circled in red here. And if we go and take a closer look, Wisconsin has a population of just under 6 million people and a size of 170,000 square kilometers, making it just slightly larger than South Korea, as you can see here. Now, UW Stout is in a town called Menominee, located right here, as you can see. It is about an hour's drive away from the city of Minneapolis, where if any of you choose to go here, will be where most of your planes will be landing. And then as another point of reference, it is a 5 hours drive away from Chicago, as you can see, located right here. Now, a little bit more about the town Menominee. It's a nice small town. It was ranked 15th best small town in America by Smithsonian Magazine. There are many reasons for this, one being we have a very connected community. There are several events and markets that are held by the town every year that keeps the community together. We have various shops and restaurants. You can find almost anything you need in Menominee, and if you can't find it there, you don't have to look far to find it elsewhere. We have very low crime rates. I've heard from many Korean students wanting to study abroad that they're very anxious about crime rates in high cities. That wouldn't be something you'd have to worry about in Menominee because we're not a large city. And of course, it's just a very beautiful town. This picture you see here was taken in Menominee. It's a landmark of ours called the Devil's Punch Bowl. A little bit more about Stout and how it could be relevant to exchange students. We have over 30 countries represented within our exchange student population. 98.8% of students find employment or continue their education after graduation. We have a 19-to-1 student to faculty ratio. Now that's a fairly small ratio, which is good because it means professors can take a lot of time to help individual students if they need help. And then Stout really values a hands-on learning experience, which is why we have 3 times more labs than we do classrooms. We have over 160 student organizations and clubs, and they vary in topics, being from major related to sports recreation, to hobbies, to religion. Stout has an involvement center that actively puts together activities, events, and games, and they actively encourage all students to participate in them. We also have an international club, which is one of our organizations. Here, exchange students share their cultures with each other and Stout, as well as experience unique cultural events. Stout has a proud athletics program represented by our mascot, Blaze, the Blue Devil. You may see him at one of our various sporting events. Now, I'm sure many of you may be curious what types of undergraduate programs or majors we may offer. I'm going to go through the list of what we have, all right? So you'll have to bear with me on that. Now, even if you don't see your own program within this list, still stick around to ask questions because we may have several relevant classes to whatever your program may be. So we're just going to quick go through. We have our business and management, where we offer business administration, construction, fashion and retail, golf enterprise management, hotel, restaurant, and tourism management, real estate property management, supply chain management, and sustainable management. Then we have a art design and graphics. There we have entertainment design, graphic communication, game design and development, industrial design, interior design, studio art, and video production. For anyone interested in art design and graphics, you may have to submit a portfolio to be admitted into this program. Going on, we have information technology and communication, where we have computer networking and information technology, computer science, digital marketing technology, information and communication technology, and professional communication and emerging media. Then we have science, engineering, and math, where we have applied biochemistry and molecular, applied mathematics and computer science, applied science, computer and electrical engineering, engineering technology, environmental science, food science and technology, manufacturing engineering, mechanical engineering, packaging, and plastics engineering. Now, as I said before, I'm a mechanical engineering student here, so I can say good things about this section of STAUD's programs.
Can I ask you which major you're currently having? What major you have?
Mechanical engineering.
Okay.
Then we have social sciences, where we have applied social sciences, criminal justice and rehabilitations, dietetics, wealth, wellness, and fitness, human development and family studies, psychology, and rehabilitation services. And then as our last group, we have education, where we have art education, career technical education, early childhood education, family and consumer science education, market and business education, science education, technology education, and science and technology education. Now, once again, if you didn't see your program there, just feel free to ask questions about available classes. Now, I'm sure many of you are curious about costs. So Chungong is a partner university with UW-STAUD. This means exchange students from Chungong will only have to pay around $5,919 US a semester, which is equivalent to about 7,825,000 won. Now, if you come to study abroad at STAUD, you'll have to stay in the dorms. This building depicted right here is our dorm, the North Hall, which is where most international students end up staying, because here we have a floor dedicated to international students called the international floor. Now, our rooms are 3.4 by 4.6 meters. Unlike here, they don't have bathrooms within the rooms. They're communal for each floor. And each room includes 2 beds, 2 desks, 2 dressers, 2 closets, and a microwave and a fridge. Our dorm facilities include a lounge, laundry room, and kitchen, which are all open 24/7. Now, of course, if you don't feel like going to the kitchen all the time and making your own food, we have several places where food is available. The most common being our cafeteria, the Merle Price Commons. It offers a variety of things such as burgers, pizza, stir-fry, burritos, tacos, and the list goes on. In fact, I don't even have everything it offers within this list here. We have cafes and shops all around campus that offer a variety of food and drinks, all with various opening hours. We have a convenience store called the Blue Devil Market, and that's located in the central campus building. Now, none of the areas to eat that I just mentioned are open 24/7. So if for whatever reason you need to eat or find something and none of those are open, there's a convenience store near campus called Quick Trip. It's open 24/7 and it's less than a 5-minute walk away from the North Hall. So thank you all for listening. That's basically all I have to say at face value for STAUD. I hope I encouraged you to at least take a look at it. And if anyone has any questions, I know there'll be a question segment later, but this is for after in case anyone forgets or develops new questions afterwards. Feel free to contact me at Instagram or CAU Talk. For both of them, it's jhubbard0221, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. All right. Thank you. I hope to see you at STAUD in the future.
Thanks, Jeremiah.
I just have one last question.
Yes.
What's your favorite food in your university?
Ooh,
Recommendation.
well, let's see. We have a burger place that's open all the time, and that's always a reliable place to go to. So either, but same with pizza. So either burgers or pizza.
That's good.
네, 이어서 같은 학교 기파견자인 최효정 학우분이 경험담을 공유해 주실 예정입니다.
We'll continue our session and invite Hyo Sung-chae to share his experience at the University of Wisconsin-Delft.
This.
No, that's fine.
잠시만 기다려 주시면 감사하겠습니다.
네, 안녕하십니까. 저는 17학번 식품공학과에 재학 중인 최효성이고 22학년도 가을 학기에 University of Wisconsin Stout으로 한 학기 교환학생 파견을 갔다 온 최효성입니다. 먼저 제가 University of Wisconsin Stout에 대한 이제 여기 옆에 친구도 말씀해 주셨지만 자세하게 더 말씀을 드려보도록 하겠습니다. 먼저 다들 아시고 계시겠지만 어플리케이션 과정입니다. 먼저 교환학생을 가시려면은 중앙대에서 노미네이션을 받으셔야 되고요. 요거에는 이제 학점 40%, 어학성적 40%, 지원서류 20%로 이렇게 평가가 되게 됩니다. 그리고 상대교의 노미네이션을 받아서 그 상대교 교환학생 담당자와 컨택을 이루셔서 DS1019라는 서류를 받으셔야 합니다. 그리고 이 서류는 Day1 비자를 발급받는 데 필수적이고요. 이제 비자를 발급받는 데는 여권, DS2019, 서비스 페이먼트 리시트 등이 필수로 필요하게 됩니다. 앞서 말씀해 주셨다시피 매너머니는 미국 북동쪽 이제 시카고 옆에 위치해 있는 자그마한 마을이고요. 요 미니애폴리스라는 도시가 옆에 있는데 여기는 이제 공항이 있으니 아마 가시면은 무조건 가시게 될 도시일 것 같습니다. 그리고 차로 미니애폴리스까지 한 2시간 정도 왕복 시간이 있으니 그 점 참고해 주시면 될 것 같습니다. 제가 직접 찍은 매너머니의 사진들입니다. 먼저 조용하고 정말 작은 시골 도시이고요. 솔직히 큰 도시를 기대하고 가시면 안 될 것 같습니다. 그래도 뭐 바나 뭐 월마트 전혀 생활하기에는 불편함이 없지만 그래도 다른 도시에 가기로 좀 교통편이 조금 불편하다는 단점은 있을 것 같습니다. 그리고 UW 스타우트 캠퍼스 내에 제가 찍은 사진들입니다. 여기 보시면은 맨 위쪽에 요거는 이제 메인 캠퍼스 사진이고요. 요거는 이제 노스 캠퍼스 사진인데 이 메인 캠퍼스에는 앞서 말씀드렸듯이 놀소가 아니면 대로 수업이 이루어지는 건물들이 위치해 있고요. 이 놀스 캠퍼스에는 레드시더라고 놀소울 말고 다른 이제 레드시더라는 기숙사가 있는데 요거는 이제 나중에 설명을 드리도록 하겠습니다. 그리고 정말 캠퍼스도 넓고 운동장, 뭐 짐, 뭐 다양한 정말 어메니티들이 많고 그리고 저는 이제 8월 말부터 1월 초반까지 미국에 있었는데 8월에는 정말 더웠고요. 그리고 이제 한 10월부터는 눈이 정말 많이 내려서 아마 2학기에 교환학생을 가시게 되면은 정말 눈과 생활을 같이 하실 것 같습니다. 저는 이렇게 눈이 많이 내리는 건 살면서 처음 본 것 같고요. 그래서 진짜 그리고 한 기온은 마이너스 20도 정도로 정말 춥다고 할 수 있습니다. 그리고 이제 가장 궁금해하실 이제 클래스에 관한 것인데요. 먼저 교환학생을 가시면은 최소 12학점 이상을 한 학기에 이수를 꼭 하셔야 합니다. 이 부분에 있어서 선수 과목 이제 전공을 선택하시는 분들은 선수 과목 이수에 대해서 이제 질문이 있으실 텐데, 요거는 이제 그 UW 스타우트 이제 교환학생 담당자분이 좀 유연하게 처리를 해주시지만 그래도 어느 정도 선수 과목을 그래도 듣고 가시는 것을 추천드립니다. 그리고 이제 이 수업을 듣기 위해서 승인이 필요한데 전공 과목은 이제 저희 이제 중앙대학교 학과장 자신의 학부 학과장님께 승인을 받아야 하고 자유선택 교양 과목인 경우에는 국제처의 승인이 필요합니다. 그리고 성적 기준은 미국 학생들과 같은 기준으로 평가되니 이 점 유의하시기 바랍니다. 하지만 크게 그렇게 부담을 느낄 것도 없는 게 이게 이제 패스 앤 페일로 이관이 되기 때문에 F 학점만 받지 않으면은 다 패스로 거의 이관이 된다고 보시면 됩니다. 그리고 제가 직접 가서 공부를 해보니 그렇게 학점을 따기 어렵다는 느낌은 받지 못했습니다. 그리고 UW 스타우트 수업 특징 중에 하나가 이제 노트북을 사용한 수업이 이루어진다는 겁니다. 그래서 모든 교환학생들 아니면 모든 학생들에게 노트북이 한 대씩 이제 이제 주어집니다. 이제 그것을 가지고 이제 거의 대부분의 수업은 이 노트북을 사용하면서 진행이 된다고 보시면 됩니다. 저 같은 경우는 교양 3개, 전공 1개를 들었는데 이 정도 스케줄이면은 정말 뭐 힘들지 않게 들었던 것 같고 저는 이 중에서 스피치 클래스를 들었는데 처음에 영어로 말하는 게 힘들 수도 있지만 그래도 정말 저 회화 실력에 많이 도움이 된 것 같습니다. 그리고 돌미토리 사진입니다. 이제 맨 위쪽에 보시는 돌미토리는 아까 말씀드렸다시피 놀스홀이고요. 놀스홀 내부 사진은 이렇게 생겼습니다. 그리고 요 밑에 사진은 제가 살았던 방인데요. 침대 난입 이제 층계는 조절하실 수 있으니 걱정하지 마시고 이 정도 사이즈 그래서 2인 1실을 쓰고 있다는 걸 유념해 주셨으면 좋겠습니다. 그리고 놀솔 말고 레드시더라는 이제 기숙사도 있는데 아까 말씀드렸듯이 그 메인 캠퍼스와는 조금 한 걸어서 10분 정도 거리에 떨어져 있는 레드시더라는 기숙사가 있는데 여기는 이제 2인 1실이 아닌 4인 1실로 구성이 되되 개인 방이 주어집니다. 그래서 개인 공간이 주어져 있다는 점, 그래서 조금 더 비쌀 수가 있습니다. 그리고 놀스홀 같은 경우에는 제가 살았던 건 놀스홀인데 놀스홀 같은 경우에는 화장실도 일단 공용이고 그 다음에 이제 주방, 뭐 커먼스 키친 이런 것도 다 구비가 되어 있고요. 그리고 이 사진은 학식 사진인데 조식은 $2 그리고 중식, 석식은 $3 내면은 이렇게 뷔페식으로 자신이 원하는 것을 드실 수 있습니다. 메뉴는 뭐 피자, 햄버거, 뭐 타코 이 정도가 있고요. 뭐 날마다 스페셜 메뉴가 바뀌긴 합니다. 그리고 이제 제가 소속돼 있었던 인터내셔널 클럽인데요. 이 인터내셔널 클럽에서는 정말 많은 이제 세계 각국의 교환학생이나 유학생들이 가입하는 동아리입니다. 그래서 미국 친구들뿐만 아닌 이제 세계 각국의 유학생들과도 친구 관계를 맺을 수 있고 소통할 수 있는 기회라고 보여집니다. 그리고 정말 인터내셔널 클럽 자체에서 주최하는 다양한 이벤트들이 있으니 정말 값진 경험이었던 것 같습니다. 그리고 저희 학교랑 많이 달랐다고 느낌을 받았던 것 중에 하나가 학교에서 정말 자체적으로 이벤트가 정말 많습니다. 그래서 이제 보시면은 저는 미국에서 월드컵을 이번에 봤었는데 이제 월드컵 존을 이렇게 따로 열어서 월드컵 같이 즐길 수도 있게 해주고, 뭐 이제 이거는 레이저 태그라 해서 이제 총 쏘는 약간 서바이벌 게임, 요건 이제 락 클라이밍, 뭐 그리고 하키는 이제 UW 스타우트 하키 팀이 있어서 하키 간다. 지금 미식축구 풋볼 팀이 있어서 네, 이렇게 같이 즐길 수도 있고, 이제 여기 UW 스타우트 커넥트 앱이라는 게 있는데 여기서 이제 예정돼 있는 이벤트들이 나와 있으니 여기서 이제 레지스터를 하시고 참여를 하시면 됩니다. 그래서 이제 마치며 드릴 수 있는 얘기는 정말 교환학생을 가서 다양한 친구들과 문화를 접할 수 있는 기회가 되었고, 또한 영어 실력을 늘릴 수 있는 기회가 됐던 것 같습니다. 영어 실력을 걱정하시는 분들이 많으실 텐데 저도 처음에는 정말 걱정이 많았는데 가서 자신이 정말 부딪혀보고 부딪혀볼수록 많이 늘시는 것 같고, 그리고 저는 개인적으로 이제 바나 홈파티 가서 이제 다 자유롭게 대화하면서 정말 회화 실력을 많이 늘릴 수 있었던 것 같습니다. 그리고 수업도 다 영어로 진행이 되겠죠. 근데 이제 영어로 진행되는 수업 같은 경우에는 처음에는 저도 교수님이 이제 영어로 말하시면은 이게 무슨 소리지라고 이해가 안 되는 부분이 많았는데, 그래도 교수님께서 다 이해해 주시고, 그리고 이제 전공 서적 같은 경우에도 이제 교환학생을 가실 실력이 되신다면 충분히 이해할 수 있는 수준이다라고 말씀드릴 수 있겠습니다. 그리고 이제 저희가 따로 이제 그 중앙대학교 유튜브 채널에 이제 UW 스타우트를 소개하는 영상을 하나 만들어 놨었는데요. 이 QR 코드로 링크 들어가시면은 이제 저랑 같이 갔었던 이정현 하부와 만든 영상을 보실 수 있을 것 같습니다. 감사합니다.
감사합니다. 이어서 Q&A 시간을 갖도록 하겠습니다. University of Wisconsin 스타우트 대학과 관련된 궁금한 점 있으신 분들은 자유롭게 질문해 주시면 감사하겠습니다.
Next up, we will have a Q&A session. If anyone attending this semester has any inquiries about the University of Wisconsin Stout, please don't hesitate to ask. We GLAMS can provide translation assistance in either Korean or English if needed. 우선 다른 학우분들께서 질문 사항이 있기 전에 제가 개인적으로 질문드리고 싶은 부분이 있었는데 기탁교수님에게
네.
혹시 스피치 클래스 말고 또 다른 추천할 만한 과목이나 아니면 가볼 만한 장소가 있을지 추천 듣고 싶습니다.
가볼 만한 장소.
네, 가볼 만한 장소나 아니면 들을 만한 과목.
들을 만한 경우 같은 거에는 이제 많은 교환학생 친구들이 이제 영어를 도전해보고 싶다고 해서 저같이 이제 스피치 클래스를 듣는 친구들도 많았고, 아니면은 전공이 정말 세분화로 되어 있고, 그리고 이제 교양 과목 같은 경우에도 정말 다양한 과목들이 있고, 저희 나라에는 볼 수 없는 커뮤니케이션, 소통 이런 교양 과목들도 있어서 UW 스타우트 홈페이지에서 찾아서 한번 이제 General Education이라고 돼 있는 부목에 이제 보시면은 정말 많은 교양 과목들이 있을 것 같습니다.
감사합니다.
궁금한 점 있으시면 채팅창에다가 그냥 작성해 주시면 저희가 번역하거나 안 그러면 그대로 읽어드리도록 하겠습니다. Jeremiah, is there any places you recommend to go around in Wisconsin?
In Wisconsin? So Wisconsin isn't very huge on very touristy places, like New York or California is. That doesn't mean there's not a lot of good stuff you can go. It's just like if you tell people where you've been, it's not that it wouldn't be fun. They just wouldn't know where you're talking about. But there is what's considered the water park capital of the world is in Wisconsin, Wisconsin Dells. I'd say it's about 2 hours away from Menominee, between Menominee and Chicago. Not necessarily in Wisconsin, but whenever it comes time for state fairs, the Minnesota State Fair is very near to Wisconsin, around Minneapolis, and is also very popular.
Thank you. 질문은 2분 정도 더 받아보도록 하겠습니다.
그리고 이제 미너머니에 있으면서 가볼 만한 곳을 추천을 드리면은 옆에 제가 이제 말씀드렸듯이 미니애폴리스라는 큰 도시가 있는데 그중에서 이제 미네소타 이제 주가 다르긴 한데 이제 미네소타 페어라고 아마 9월 초반에 이제 열리는 미네소타 페어도 있고 그리고 이제 휴일이 있어서 아마 가시게 되면은 옆에 시카고나 아니면은 시카고 아니면은 밀워키 이 정도가 가볼 만한 곳인 것 같습니다.
제가 듣기로는 미국은 학기가 되게 일찍 끝난다고 들었는데 그러면 그동안 미국 여행 많이 다니셨나요 혹시?
네, 저는 이제 9월 초에 가서 이제 할로데이가 좀 많아가지고 할로데이 때 저는 이제 플로리다도 가봤고 라스베가스, 시카고, 뉴욕 이렇게 다 가봤습니다. 그리고 학기가 9월 중순 정도부터 시작해서 12월 중순 정도에는 끝나게 되는데 그래서 12월 중순에 끝나고도 돌아올 때까지 여행 좀 많이 다녔던 것 같습니다.
미국에 오신 분들 많이들 다니시기를
네.
추천드리도록 하겠습니다.
최효성 분께 질문드리겠습니다. 처음
네네.
학교에 가고 나서 새로운 친구를 사귀는데 어려움은 없었는지 아니면 어떻게 친구를 사귈 수 있었는지 궁금합니다. 또 적응하는데 별도로 어려운 점은 없으셨는지라고 질문이 들어왔습니다.
이제 저도 정말 걱정이 많았는데 먼저 그 교환학생을 가시게 되면은 처음에 학기 시작하기 전에 오리엔테이션이라고 해서 한 며칠간 진행되는 오리엔테이션이 있습니다. 그 오리엔테이션에서 이제 오리엔테이션은 이제 미국 학생들이 아니라 이제 인터내셔널 친구들을 이제 모아놓고 오리엔테이션을 진행하면서 UW 스타우 친해질 수 있도록 정말 많은 액티비티들을 같이 하면서 이렇게 친해질 수 있었던 것 같습니다. 그래서 아마 네. 친구를 사귈 때 같이 이제 열심히 이벤트 참여하시면서 하는 친구를 사귀는 데는 어려움이 딱히 없을 것 같습니다.
네, 감사합니다. Jeremiah, is there any tips you can give Korean students to make friends in the States?
Definitely join clubs. All clubs that I'm aware of are open to anyone, even ones that are for specific majors. You don't have to be in the same major to join in. So make sure to join the international club if you end up coming to Stout. You're sure to make friends there, both from the United States and from all around the world. And then one thing I've noticed that's a bit different here than is in the States. People are much more talkative around strangers in the States. So one thing you may notice is people may notice your accent or something like that. They'll ask you where they're from. They're just genuinely curious and go with it. Answer their questions, ask their name. Most people, especially in the Midwest area, are very outgoing and very friendly.
Thank you. 아쉽지만 Q&A 시간을 여기서 마무리하도록 하겠습니다.
Unfortunately, we have completed to our Q&A session at this point.
값진 프레젠테이션을 보여준 발표자 제레마이아와 최효성 학우분께 많은 박수 부탁드리겠습니다.
Let's give a big hand to our presenter Jeremiah and Hyosung Choi. Thank you for a fantastic presentation.
네, 감사합니다.
감사합니다. Thank you.
네, 저희 두 번째 학교로 넘어가기 전에 다시 한번 이벤트에 대해서 공지해드리도록 하겠습니다. 저희 지금 줌으로 송출 중인 글로벌 세미나는 인증 이벤트를 지금 같이 진행 중에 있으니까 꼭 잊지 말고 참여해 주시면 감사하겠습니다. 그럼 두 번째 학교 소개로 넘어가도록 하겠습니다. 호주 University of Newcastle, 뉴캐슬 대학교로 소개해줄 조이입니다.
Let's move on to the next speaker. Here's Zoe from the University of Newcastle, Australia. Before you start, can you introduce yourself, please?
Yeah. So my name is Zoe. I'm from the University of Newcastle in Australia. I study psychology back at my home university, and I also work there in student services. So after this presentation concludes, if you do have any questions related to study, or if you just want some advice on who to contact within the university as well, I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you have. All right. So yeah, as I said, my name's Zoe. My email and my CAU talk sort of details are on the screen now. So if you do want to get in touch with me after this presentation is concluded, feel free to reach out. So a bit about Newcastle. So Newcastle is located in New South Wales on the east coast of Australia. It's the 7th largest city with a population of over 450,000. So I guess for sort of compared to Korea, even the big cities in Australia outside of Melbourne and Sydney can feel quite sort of small. So if you're looking for a bit more of a relaxed student experience, Newcastle is a great place to visit. It's also comparably cheaper than some of the larger cities such as Sydney and Melbourne to live in, but it's also only located about 2 hours north of Sydney. So very accessible to still do sort of day trips to Sydney if you want to see that city, and Newcastle Airport is only about 30 minutes away. So if you do want to do some domestic travel, see some of the other cities within Australia, but still save on some sort of living costs, Newcastle's a really great place. So in terms of what Newcastle has to offer outside of study, obviously with it being a coastal city, you have lots of beaches to explore. So on the screen here, sort of top right-hand corner, you have Nobby's Beach with a lighthouse. You also have on the right-hand side, a place called the Bogey Hole, which was a man-made sort of ocean bath. And you can also see an overhead shot of the city sort of surrounded by the port and the ocean. So yeah, as you can see, beach life is a very, very sort of integral part of any local Newcastle resident. And as a student, you'll have ample opportunity to enjoy it. Some other things to do around the Newcastle area, whale watching is something which sort of occurs year round. You can go out on a boat, have a look out for some whales and some dolphins. There's also obviously lots of opportunities to see Australian wildlife. Blackbutt Reserve and some of the local zoos have kangaroos, koalas, quokkas, wombats, all sort of very unique Australian wildlife and animals that you can go and check out while you're studying. And there's also the Hunter Valley Gardens, which is very famous for its wine and its food. I believe the university has some opportunities for international students to do day trips out to the Hunter Valley Gardens and some of these other places. So when you're studying with us, I definitely recommend to seize those opportunities, meet new people, and enjoy some of the local activities. So a bit about the campuses. So our main campus is Callaghan campus. This is where a majority of the classes sort of take place. It's a very, very sort of spread out campus. So it's a bit hard to sort of capture the entirety of the buildings and whatnot, but it's located in the middle of nature is the best way I can put it. So lots of trees and greenery around. You do also have, a lot of unique sort of birds and reptiles that live on campus that I'm sure you'll encounter while you're there. This is also where student accommodation is located. So if you're staying on campus, this is sort of where you'll be spending like a day-to-day life. I would also highly recommend if you are planning on applying for student accommodation to get in nice and early, as it can be quite competitive. and sort of looking at off-campus accommodation can sometimes be difficult, even for domestic students. So yeah, as an exchange student, would definitely recommend have a look into student accommodation. As for the transport options from Callaghan campus, it's pretty well connected to the rest of Newcastle and other surrounding areas. So you've got the train station, which is located right next to the campus, that can take you into Newcastle City. It only takes about sort of 10-15 minutes or so. And that can also then obviously take you out to Sydney and other surrounding areas. There's also public buses and a free shuttle bus that the university operates for students, and that will take you into the city, and also it'll also connect you to some areas where you can do some grocery shopping as well. There's also a lot of events that are held on Callaghan campus. So that'll be sort of things for clubs and societies, and then also just throughout the semester, you know, free barbecues, free food, you have live music. So yeah, Callaghan campus is a very, very busy place to be. And it's yeah, a great place to sort of meet new people and make new friends. Now for the city campus. So this is located in the Newcastle CBD area. It's somewhat like, I'd say, I think it probably opened up in the last 10 years or so. So it is quite a new campus. It's accessible from the Callaghan campus via public transport and the free shuttle bus that I mentioned earlier. The main classes that are held here is mainly for sort of law, business, and creative industries courses. So if you are interested at all in sort of taking classes related to those areas of study, you can expect a lot of your time to be spent at this campus. It's also only a short walk from the harbour and beach, and it's surrounded by lots of cafes and restaurants. So yeah, lots of sort of dining opportunities out here, and lots of good coffee as well. So a bit more information about how courses and study work at the University of Newcastle, especially in comparison to how you might find things to be run around Geelong University. So all lectures are recorded and made available to view online later. So this also means that for the most part, lectures aren't mandatory to attend, which provides a little bit more flexibility with scheduling. So if there's, you know, something you want to do on a certain day, but you have a lecture that might be taking place, as long as there aren't any attendance requirements specifically for that lecture, most professors are happy for students to view the lecture at a later time online. Most courses also have take-home assignments and may not include midterm or final exams. So some students that I've met who've been on exchange at the University of Newcastle have found the workload to be just, I guess, different in terms of what the expectations are for assignments. They might find that, you know, they don't need to do as much study for exams, but they need to invest a bit more time into doing sort of essays and projects at home. There's also more smaller classes focusing on group discussion. So while the lectures are generally sort of conducted where, you know, the entire sort of all the students that have enrolled in a specific course can go and attend that lecture, normally after the lectures conclude, there are sort of smaller classes like tutorials or workshops where there might only be 20 or 30 students per class. And that provides a little bit more one-on-one interaction between a tutor and the students. So if there's any questions that you have from the lecture, anything that you're uncertain about, provides a great opportunity to sort of, you know, clarify with a staff member, you know, about any questions that you have. And then also provides a really great opportunity to meet other people sort of who are interested in like studying the same things as you. I've also included a QR code of the full sort of courses, list of courses that are offered at the University of Newcastle. So if you want to have a look and see like the range of study options available in the different areas of study, I definitely recommend checking that out. And now a bit more about campus life and support. So the picture here is actually Bar on the Hill. So this is one one of the establishments located on Callahan campus. Lots of live music events. Yeah, lots of live music events are held here. And it's a great place. After class is finished, you can come here, get something to eat, get something to drink, and just chat with friends. So as I mentioned earlier, there's lots of events and festivals that are held throughout the semester. And there's over 150 clubs and societies that the university also has running, including one that is specifically dedicated for international and exchange students to enjoy sort of local activities, meet domestic students and other international students. So I definitely recommend having a look into that. There's also some sporting facilities available on campus. Specifically at Callahan campus, we have a sporting facility called the Forum. This includes a 50-meter long indoor heated swimming pool, indoor basketball, gym sort of facilities, and an 18-meter high rock climbing wall, which I believe is the second highest in Australia. So yeah, really great if you're sort of wanting to work out and exercise while you're still staying on campus. There's also a number of academic and personal support facilities available. So if you're worried at all about sort of submitting assignments in English, there are English language support options available at the university. So staff members can proofread your assignments to make sure that they're sort of grammatically correct and that spelling's correct, and then also personal support as well. So if you're ever stressed and need some counseling or just like to chat with someone, there's also plenty of options available there as well. The QR code that I've included is for the University of Newcastle Student Association's website, or UNSA. They play a big part in sort of organising the clubs and societies. So you can view a full list of those there, as well as their events calendar. So if you want to get an idea about the different events that are being held on campus, I'd highly recommend checking out their website for some more details. So yeah, that's all for me. Once again, feel free to reach out. As I do work at the university, I'm more than happy to sort of provide you with other staff members' details if you sort of want to get in touch with someone about a specific course or any other questions that you might have. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. 본 세션은 기파견자 경험담이 생략됩니다.
This session does not include any experience sharing from a Korean student who have attended the University of Newcastle.
따라서 기파견자의 경험담 생략하고 바로 Q&A 시간을 갖도록 하겠습니다. University of Newcastle 대학과 관련된 궁금한 점이 있으신 분들은 자유롭게 질문해 주시면 감사하겠습니다.
Then let's go to the Q&A session. If any participant of this seminar have any inquiries or would like to have more information about the University of Newcastle, please don't hesitate. I heard that you're working in the university. Can I ask what kind of work you're doing?
Yeah, so since mid-2019, I've been working in the student services area. So pretty much anyone who contacts the university, whether that be students, staff members, or just members of the public, I pretty much answer their questions. So yeah, I've heard them all the different types of questions. So if you ever think that, you might have like a bit of an odd question, don't worry, like I've definitely heard it before.
I'm sure the Chiang University still will feel like more relieved
Yeah.
of you.
Yeah, so definitely, like, feel free to reach out at any point if there's, anything that you're uncertain about.
Thank you. Can I ask one more question?
Yeah.
Can I ask what's your major?
Yeah.
I think I didn't heard about it.
Yeah, of course. So I study psychology. Yeah, so we're quite a big cohort at the University of Newcastle. So if there is anyone who is like wanting to study psychology, they'll be surrounded by a lot of fellow psych majors.
네, 정말 편하게 질문 주시면 됩니다. Is there any club or society you're in?
Not me personally. I've actually been running, well, last year I was running a society that was external from the university, but we were operating some events and sort of like quizzes on campus. Yeah, so like I think in my particular case, I was running a society that was sort of related to the study of brain injury in like the Australasian area. And we sort of were facilitating some events for students to meet professionals working in stroke rehabilitation and like the study of brain impairment and injury. But I know for some of my exchange student friends who were studying at the University of Newcastle, I know a few people who joined the sort of club for like international and exchange students, but I also know that there were quite a few who joined different language clubs as well. So like Japanese, I think there might be like sign language, French, and those were really great just for sort of meeting people who had like, you know, a similar interest to them. And I think it was a very, very casual sort of opportunity to just like chat and meet new people. Yeah.
Thank you. 저희는 50분까지 질문을 받도록 하겠습니다.
Is there any elective courses you might recommend to us? Like being an exchange student, we want like a more relaxing course, maybe.
Yeah. It really, I guess it depends where your interests lie. I know for myself, I really enjoyed doing some of the language courses that are offered at the University of Newcastle, but there's also sort of some more that are to do with like art and photography. There's some that are sort of to do with, you know, business, whatnot. I definitely recommend, I believe this will sort of be recorded and made available on YouTube. So the QR code that I included that goes to the list of sort of courses, there's a filter that you can use to specifically look at electives. So I definitely recommend have a look at that. And if there is a particular course that you're interested in and you'd like some more information on it, feel free to get in touch with me and I can, provide some more details.
So sweet, thank you.
No worries.
Since you're exchange student in Korea, can you tell me some merits of being exchange student to other foreign countries?
Yeah, so I guess since I've been here, I found I think people will find that I think going to Australia, it's a lot more sort of casual and relaxed, like the way that classes are organized. So normally professors and teachers are very encouraging of people asking questions and interacting with them and other students, which I think some people can find a bit awkward at first, but it's a really great opportunity to sort of further engage with the learning material and also just meet and interact with other students. I think in terms of just like the scenery where like the school is located, it's a very, very relaxed atmosphere as well. So having the beach right nearby, you know, it's great after you finish class, just sort of hopping on the bus, going out to the beach, meeting with friends and eating on the beach. It's a really, really nice sort of thing to do. So that's something that I guess like I miss about home. But look, I think if you're wanting an experience that is you know, sort of provides just different opportunities to see and like, you know, do different things, especially compared to here where you're sort of in a really busy city. Newcastle is a really, really great place.
There's also one more question from the students.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the difference compared to Korea? How's the monthly budget different in Australia and Korea?
Yeah, so I think Australia is comparatively more expensive. So sort of grocery shopping and eating out definitely costs more than it does in Korea. I think fruits and vegetables might be a bit cheaper depending obviously what you're buying. But yeah, I know for like most of the people that I know who sort of studied in Australia would do a lot of sort of cooking themselves. So yeah, that's another thing is the dorms on campus do have kitchen facilities that students can use to prepare their own food. So yeah, I'd say it's generally sort of more expensive than it is here. Yeah.
I heard the water prices are very expensive there because my friend went to Australia as an exchange student too.
Yeah. So yeah, water is more expensive. Obviously, if you're living on campus, then it's just sort of the one sort of all-inclusive fee that you're paying for, you know, accommodation and then all like sort of water, electricity, gas bills. But yeah, if you are thinking of living off campus, yeah, I definitely sort of keep that in mind.
네, 아쉽지만 Q&A 시간은 여기서 마무리하도록 하겠습니다.
Unfortunately, we're gonna end up our Q&A session.
값진 프레젠테이션을 보여준 발표자 조이에게 많은 박수 부탁드리겠습니다.
Let's give a big round of applause to our presenter Zoe, who delivered an outstanding presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
네, 벌써 마지막 세션인데요. 이번에는 독일의 슈투트가르트 종합대학교에서 온 세라입니다.
Before you start, can you briefly introduce yourself, Sarah?
So, hi, as you know, my name is Sarah, and I'm an exchange student right now from Germany, from the DHBW in Stuttgart. I'm 21 years old, and I'm right now for one semester in Korea, and so far I really enjoyed it. So today I give you a short presentation about our international study program in Stuttgart. And Stuttgart is the capital of Baden-Württemberg. It's like the second largest state of Germany. And so far, here's what I planned. First of all, I show you a little bit around the region in Stuttgart, what you can do when you study abroad, why the DHBW is like a really specific and unique university around the world, and which courses we provide for you. And then what about the structure, which date here you can come to us, and some extracurricular activities, and of course our buddy program, because it's like the buddy program is something like our like you have here with the plans. So I would like to show videos. Is okay?
Yeah, sure. I just because the 소리가 안 들렸어. 다시 can you just wait a little bit because the sound might not be delivered.
So to continue, we have a lot to do around Stuttgart, and Stuttgart is an automobile industry city. So because like the headquarters of Porsche and Mercedes is sitting in Stuttgart, we have the museums from Porsche and Mercedes, and most of the times we're going to also to the museums with all of their exchange students coming to Stuttgart. So of course we have a lot of other museums because Germany is famous that they are putting a lot of money in art. So we have different kinds of museums, to light shows, to all of our festivals. They are all sponsored, and we love to go to them. And one really important thing is also we have excellent wine growing gardens and mountains. So you can just like in the summer, you can just walk through them, do things of hiking and just like sitting with a blanket in the wine garden. And it's really, really nice to just like getting a little bit relaxed. And also, I think you already heard about the Oktoberfest. And Stuttgart has the second largest Oktoberfest in the world. We call it Basen. And one also really important thing what we love to do is like going to Christmas markets in the winter, getting a little bit of hot wine and just like sitting there in like blanket on like festivals and like little hats to just like talk and just like get a little chattery. And so far it's like I really do love the things we're doing with all of our exchange students. To summarize everything we're doing right now, like at the DHVW is like a dual work integrated university. So that means that as I am an official student in Germany, I have like 3 months of working and then 3 months of my theoretical phase. Here right now having this in at Tsinghua University. And it's kind of unique because you have like the practical phase and you can start to work within your own company, so you are already employed. But on the other hand, you're getting your bachelor degrees and you have your universities. That's kind of really cool. So we have a lot of cooperations with different companies, like overall it's like 2,200 with social institutions and companies. And that and we also give you a lot of different bachelor degrees from national to international bachelor degrees. And our studies fields right now are only 4, but that's completely fine because we have business, social work, engineering, and health. And right now we have a lot of professors and employees to help us with everything we need. And there are most of the times every time there if you need something. Our locations are completely spread to all the to complete Baden-Württemberg. So it's not like usually to have like a really big campus like you have in Korea. You have most of the times different location around the city, and we have also different location around the complete state. So it depends where you want to go, but most of the times you are in Stuttgart because Stuttgart is the biggest. But on the other hand, you have the ability to go to every single location so far. And this is what I already explained to you. We have like 6 times 3 months of theoretical phase, and then we have 6 months of 6 times 3 months of practical phase. So we are back at our corporate partner and working for them, and put everything we learned in university in our work environment. So every time we are back in doing our internships, we are able to learn a little more. But the question is actually like, what do you offer for an international exchange student? I mean, this is like really interesting for you. So far, we have for the international study program, the business focus most of the times, but also the technology focus. So, and we offer you German language classes, like an intense course at the beginning, and over the semester, you can choose to have to continue to have German as one of your courses. But if you do not like it, it's absolutely fine. What is really interesting, so far we offer like 14 different courses around about technology to negotiation to a little bit of finance and sales. And you can earn to 30 in ECTS points. That's around about 18 Korean credits. And But you are, when you're like coming to us, you only have your theoretical phase because like you are not deployed in one of our companies, so you can continue to do your studies. The structure so far, we are you're allowed to go two times a year to us. So the first week is most of the times at the beginning of March, and then at the beginning of September, you're having a welcome week. So our buddy program and all of our buddies are helping you to arrive and get to the dormitories, or like if you do want to have like an own apartment, it's also fine. We are here to help you and start everything. We do a lot of trips. So for example, around Stuttgart, going to a few festivals and plan some buddy programs. And so you can always chit chat with everybody around, like between other exchange students and also a lot of German exchange students, because we are really open-minded and love to talk to everybody. For the structure also, it's really you have to have like a language requirement for this, so minimum of B2 or B2 to C1 of German. But it's like if you do not have like this language requirement, it's really hard to continue with the classes. So that's the reason why I set this boundary. And you can, if you want to, earn 30 ECTS points, but you also always like around average about 25. That's around about 50 Korean credits per semester. And you're also able to write your bachelor's or master's with a supervisor at the PhD level. For extracurricular activities, Germans love their sports. They're doing it like minimum like 2 times a week, and we have so different sports. You can always join a team, and we're always like really inclusive with this because we love to talk about like difference so far. And we do a lot of excursions, trips, as I already mentioned. We have a lot of our cultural events like summer festivals, especially in Stuttgart, is like a huge thing. You meet everybody around for the city, for the studies, and you're always happy to talk. Continue to with our buddy program. It's kind of the same as you have like with the clams here. The only difference is actually that most of the times our buddies are changing every single semester. So sometimes you have like a buddy from the last semester and sometimes you're not. But it's also it's 1-to-1. So if you're coming to Stuttgart, you have one buddy from your own, like maximum like 2. For example, I've been the buddy since like 3 semesters now. And I always assisted one maximum 2 person. So it was really cool. So you could really develop a relationship with everybody, get friends, and just like hang around, get to restaurants, and just like show what is perfect around everything. Yeah, and of course, if you have any help as you have the times, you can always come to your buddy. These are some snapshots we have so far. We've been bowling with everybody. We've been to the Porsche Museum. We've been to the Stuttgart Oktoberfest, to our Christmas markets. And yeah, so far it was always like a really funny group. Yes. And thank you for your attention. And if you have ever further questions around it, then just like do not hesitate to contact our wonderful 2 ladies who's always waiting for your questions.
Thank you for your presentation.
Welcome.
이번 세션도 기파견자의 경험담 공유는 생략됩니다.
This session also does not include any experience sharing from a Korean student who has attended the Baden-Württemberg Corporate State University.
이어서 Q&A 시간을 갖도록 하겠습니다. Q&A 시간 후에 중요한 공지 2가지를 드릴 예정이오니 끝까지 남아 계시면 감사하겠습니다. 슈투트가르트 종합대학교와 관련된 궁금한 점 있으신 분들은 자유롭게 질문해 주시면 감사하겠습니다.
Moving on, we'll have a Q&A session.
Can I ask your major?
Of course. Right now I'm studying business information systems. So it's a little bit of mix between business and computer science. But it's like a unique field of study anyways. Yeah. It's like a little bit, if you have like the course management information systems here, It's like kind of the summary what I'm studying right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I heard that German people are so into sports. So do you do any extracurricular sports in your university right now?
Yes, I do a lot of dancing, like standard and Latin, and I really love it. And the last semesters before, I did some kind of, how do you call it in English? Like to fight or MMA. MMA is like a sports where you're
Oh.
fighting between each other,
Oh,
like a little bit between boxing and stuff.
do you recommend that sport to our
Yes.
university to join?
Yes, especially because like you learn probably how to avoid fights, and if you get in something like this, you just like know exactly how to get out of it and how does it not like really hurts. Sometimes especially like the most problem is like when you're getting into a fight, you do not get hurt by just like fighting, just like cause like how you fall, like when you fall in your yeah.
네, 질문이 들어와서 말씀드리도록 하겠습니다. Is it okay to say only speak English, not German in this university?
Oh, of course, yeah, absolutely.
No problem.
No, absolutely no problem.
Then professors say in English in their classes?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
only in English, like because BR have like it's a different kind of thing because if you're in, it's more like a class like in high school, our university. So every exchange students so far what we are when we are offering these courses is only a professor in English. So you're sitting together with every exchange students, and sometimes they're joining some English like German students, but most of the times you're only having a few exchange students. That's the reason why our courses are so few.
And may I ask, what is social work?
Social work is like everything you have to do between how do you play like an engagement so far, like working with children, for example, or if you're helping children, or like helping especially adults, something like this. It's like more like around how you like how to work with people. Yeah, that's like better.
And also, the courses you mentioned, the courses in German you mentioned, is it mandatory?
Like the intense course, like it's around 1 week and it's mandatory because like sometimes it's really hard about the bureaucracy in Germany. That's the reason why it's mandatory. But I have to admit, like I do not like it anyway too. And we are as our bodies, like we are always explaining our supervisors, maybe we should not do it anymore. So right now we are continuing to cut it off. But the German bureaucracy is sometimes really hard. So that's the reason why it's most times easier to have like a translator with you, but that's the reason we have this study program. And because you have the study program, we are trying to cut it off.
Thank you. 질문 5분 정도 추가로 더 받아보도록 하겠습니다. Is there any most cool places around your campus?
Oh yeah, there are. Like we have like Stuttgart is like kind of surrounded by mountains, so I would really go to the wine gardens around it, especially in the summer. And we have like a mountain where everybody is meeting up, and you're just like sitting there, and in the evening you're drinking and so far and having a beer. It's like really wonderful.
Ooh.
During the fall semester, I think most exchange students will go to the October festival. So how about in the spring semester? What kind of festival or places are there that you recommend exchange to visit?
It's the Oktoberfest is not only once time a week, it's like 2 times a year. So you have like the spring right now. Kind of interesting because right now I'm here and I'm already missing the spring festival because it's a little bit smaller, but like only like the amount what you see there is not small. So you have it 2 times a week, and especially when you're going from in the summer, you have more like summer festivals. So it's like you see people more, you have like concerts and different kinds. Most of the times they are free for students. Yeah.
질문이 많이 없는 것 같아서 2분 정도 더 기다렸다가 마치도록 하겠습니다. How many students are in class usually?
So most of the times we are trying to get more exchange students in our university, because we are always really engaged about exchange students, because we do love to talk to other cultures. And so most of the times the amount of exchange students coming is about 80 to 100. So it's not that much that we have here, but it's around about 20 maximum.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can I ask a question? The G stands to be a direct message. So what is the major that most talk?
In Stuttgart, it's most of the time business information system, what I have, and economics, like normal business administration, what you're doing here. The reason why it's so common to study business and as business information systems is because you have like the perfect mix between business and computer science. So if you only study business, you have sometimes the problem that when you're going to the real world, corporate world, then you do not have the IT knowledge you need to have sometimes. Then it's really hard.
네, Q&A 시간은 여기서 마무리하도록 하겠습니다.
Unfortunately, we have to wrap up our Q&A session here.
멋진 프레젠테이션을 보여준 발표자 세라에게 많은 박수 부탁드리겠습니다.
Please give a big round of applause to the presenter, Sarah, who showed a splendid presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.
감사합니다.
네, 오늘 저희가 준비한 2023 첫 번째 글로벌 세미나는 여기까지입니다. 하지만 아직 나가지 말아주세요. 혹시 어징글렌, 저희 모레부터 어떤 프로그램이 진행되죠?
올해부터 2023 글로벌 페어?
진짜요? 네, 세미나를 마치기 전 국제처와 글램에 관련해 2가지 안내드릴 내용에 대해 말씀드리겠습니다. 우선 모레 17일부터 이틀간 글로벌 페어가 진행됨을 알려드립니다. 글로벌 페어는 이번 주 수요일과 목요일 310관 지하 3층 야외 공간에서 진행되며 교환 프로그램 안내를 비롯해 교내 외국인 학우들과의 대면 행사가 준비되어 있습니다. 즉 다양한 즐길거리와 푸짐한 상품들도 같이 준비되어 있으니 꼭 글로벌 페어에서 만나뵐 수 있길 기대하겠습니다. 다음으로 어징글렌, 저희 이제 11기가 곧 끝난다고 들었는데 진짜인가요?
그러게요. 아쉽게도 저희 12기 글램이 곧 탄생한다고 들었는데요.
그러면 이제 12기를 한번 기다려 볼까요? 네, 다음으로 오늘부터 15일부터 국제학생대사 글램 12기 모집이 시작되었습니다. 저희 글램에 대해 간단히 소개를 하자면 저희는 중앙대학교를 대표하는 국제학생대사로서 국제처에서 주관하는 여러 가지 행사 및 활동에 참여하며 중앙대학교를 세계로 알리는 역할을 하고 있습니다. 또한 더불어 세계 각국에서 온 학생들과 직접 만나고 소통하며 한국에서 좋은 추억을 쌓을 수 있도록 적극적으로 돕고 있습니다. 저희 중앙을 세계로 연결할 다음 주인공은 바로 당신입니다. 12기 여러분을 만날 그날을 기대하고 있겠습니다. 더욱 자세한 사항은 중앙대학교 국제처 국제교류팀 홈페이지를 참고하시길 바랍니다. 그럼 여기서 인사드리겠습니다. 오늘 참석해주시고 시청해주신 여러분들, 그리고 적극적으로 질문해주신 모든 분들께 감사드리며 내일 예정된 2번째 세미나에도 많은 관심 부탁드리겠습니다. 모두 좋은 밤 되시길 바랍니다. 감사합니다.
감사합니다.